The flickering torchlight danced across the cavern walls, painting grotesque shadows that mirrored the fear clawing at Ilias' throat. He gripped the hilt of his worn silver sword, its familiar weight a small comfort against the overwhelming dread. Before him, the demon writhed, a grotesque tapestry of charred flesh and crackling bone, its eyes burning with malevolent glee. Ilias had hunted demons for 20 years, but he had never faced anything like this. Radiated power, a palpable wave of corruption that threatened to choke the life from the very air around them. The air crackled with dark energy, and the stench of sulfur and burnt flesh filled his nostrils, making him gag. So the vaunted Ilias Blackwood's voice rasped, a sound like nails scraping against stone, the slayer of petty imps and disgruntled wraiths. "You think you can stand against me?" Ilias swallowed, forcing himself to meet the demon's gaze. "Have to try," he managed, his voice barely a whisper. Years of training and a lifetime of loss fueled him now. He had seen what demons did to the innocent, the suffering they inflicted, and he let it happen again. Laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the cavern. With a flick of its scaled wrist, it summoned a wall of hellfire that roared between them. The heat was intense, searing his skin even at a distance. Ilias knew he'd defeat with brute force. He was outmatched. He needed leverage, a weakness. "You ray afraid, you," Ilias shouted, hoping his voice didn't betray his own fear. Afraid of being bound again, trapped like a caged animal's laughter stopped. The hellfire flickered, momentarily dimming, a hint of surprise flashing across its demonic features. Ilias seized his opportunity. He chanted the ancient words, the syllables catching in his throat, tasting like ash. Each word vibrated with power, drawing upon the latent energy of the earth beneath them. He had prepared the ritual circle, hidden beneath a layer of dust and grime, hoping T notice. Roared, realizing the trap too late. It lunged, claws extended, but was met by an invisible barrier. The air shimmered as the binding ritual flared to life, a web of arcane symbols glowing with ethereal light. The demon writhed in agony, its form flickering as the magic began to take hold. "You cannot contain me," it shrieked, its voice laced with desperation. "I am a prince of hell," Ilias pressed on, ignoring the searing pain in his head as he channeled his will into the ritual. He poured all his remaining strength into the final incantation, feeling the life force draining from him. The light intensified, blinding him. He could feel fighting, resisting with every ounce of its demonic power. The cavern shook, rocks crumbled from the ceiling, and the air crackled with uncontrolled energy. Finally, with a final, earth-shattering roar, was silenced. The light subsided, leaving behind a smoking crater where the demon had stood. The ritual circle faded, its power spent. Ilias collapsed, his body trembling, every muscle screaming in protest. He lay there, gasping for breath, the taste of victory bitter on his tongue. He had won, but at what cost? He was exhausted, wounded, and the darkness he had confronted had left its mark on his soul. He knew he would need time to recover, time to heal. But he also knew that there were other demons lurking in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. And Ilias Blackwood would be ready. He would have to be. He was the only one who could stop them. He slowly, painfully pushed himself to his feet, his silver sword clutched in his hand, a lone figure standing against the encroaching darkness. His fight was far from over.